David Shands of the Social Proof Podcast. Yes. We're talking about uncommon ways to make money in the creator economy. Your entrepreneur story is crazy, and we're going to get into that in just a bit, but I kind of want to start off with just massive value. Number one, you have a YouTube channel. You make money with YouTube ads. How's that going?
It's going okay. It's up and down. It was really going down until I went to Grow It Video, your conference. So implemented that stuff, and it's going back up. So it's amazing.
How many views a month do you guys get?
Few 100,000. I really look at the revenue.
Yeah.
First off, like right now we're at about 16,000. 16,000.
And you post video podcasts. What else? Any clips or just?
Yeah, video podcast clips. We drop something every day. So video podcast clips.
7 uploads a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no brand deals or anything on your YouTube videos. All ad revenue.
Some people might say, well, they might have, I don't know, let's just say, for instance, they have a t-shirt brand. They'll say, hey, I want you to shoot an ad in this particular video, this person's video. So I'll charge for that. You know what I mean? But I know specific brand deals now.
So that's number 2, because brand deals on your podcast through like a third-party service is another revenue stream.
Yes, that's different. So YouTube and podcast, it's like 2 totally different ads.
How does people hit you up for the t-shirt thing?
Oh, they just hit me.
So they email you and you're like one off, or they get an ad spot in a couple of videos?
Yeah, I try not to sell one off. I try to encourage people not to do one off.
Yeah.
And they might think I'm just trying to upsell them for 5 episodes, but you really got to be in people's face. You need to be like attached to the show kind of.
Yeah.
For it to be effective for you. So, but yeah, if they want one, that's fine. I just sit there, read it, put it in the episode.
Okay, so then audio podcast, which is your main thing. I think like in the last 12 months, you've had 7 million downloads.
Yeah.
And of course, you didn't start there, but you got some major momentum going. And so you work, what kind of brand deals are coming in? How many episodes have them?
All of them. See, the thing is not like you put it in an episode. So typically what they'll do is they'll buy a certain amount of downloads. They'll say, well, we can dynamically insert into 80,000 downloads, and it's $25 per CPM. So for every 1,000, you get $25. That's kind of how the pricing model works. But it's really, really cool because once that campaign is done, we pull it out of the episode.
So what software do you use for dynamic ads?
I use Red Circle.
That's cool. So we use Buzzsprout. We haven't even started dynamic, but that means we could go back to our back catalog as well
100%.
And insert ads. Do they always play at the beginning, or they can play anywhere?
You could do beginning, mid-roll. It's just like YouTube where you put it in the time marker.
Yeah.
Wherever you want it, you put it in there. So it works really well for people who have something coming up. I can say, hey, guys, this Thursday, this thing is coming up for this particular company. And it's a lot more effective than, I would say, even Facebook ads. And you could promote it for that time being and take it out.
I think a lot of people don't know about the power of that. That's definitely an uncommon way to think. And a whole nother reason why building up a library of valuable content on a podcast, a video podcast, is so powerful, because it's not just maybe what you did in that episode, but the fact you can go back if you're getting that compound effect. Yep. And you just shared you're almost to 1 million views a month right now. Yeah. So you can just kind of keep selling that inventory because your back catalog is burning and churning 100%. Out views, 100%. Listens,
absolutely.
Downloads.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's like the power of podcasting, because we drop something every day, but it's like full episodes. Let's say you just like me interviewing people. Well, you're going to go back. Like every it's almost like every video gets a view every day.
Yep.
Every day of my life. Every video. Every audio.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's wild. How many years have you been doing it?
Since 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah. So even Think Media Podcast is only 2 years old, and we did not start from zero. Yeah. We already had a whole big channel, but like my friend Carrie Newoff, it was like 8 or 9 years podcasting. Yeah. So it takes time to get, sure. but it's worth, if you have the vision for like where it's going. So you have YouTube ads, brand deals. The third thing is your paid community, the morning meetup.
Yes.
What's that?
So the Morning Meetup is an organization of people from all across the world that jump on a Zoom call at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every single day, Monday through Friday. So we'll have a theme for the month. Like this theme is winning in the fourth quarter. So every day, Monday through Friday, the topic of that day is going to support the theme for the month. So we did one month where it was called The Millionaire Mind or whatever.
Yeah.
Every day I had another millionaire talking about whatever it is that they talk about, how they built their business, how they made their millions or whatever. So every day supports the theme of the month.
So about 21 days a month or something, not weekends?
About 22 days, yeah.
Yeah, 22 days a month. And that's a paid community.
Yes, $79 a month or $3.99 a year.
Okay, and so people can come and go, but you're building up momentum in there as well.
Correct.
And you can promote that community in your podcast or everywhere else.
For sure.
Word of mouth.
In the podcast, I promote the community. The community, I promote watching the podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so we got YouTube ads, brand deals, paid community. Now, you also have a challenge marketing agency. You don't talk about this a lot. We were talking about it before because, again, unique ways. And because of your expertise and some business partners or collaborators of yours, you work with niche individuals. If it's going to be a win-win and they want to do a challenge, you work with them and they work on rev share. Like how many of those do you do a month, and what is that? Do you call it something?
I don't know if it's a month. I got a couple of really cool partnerships, and if I see somebody and I believe, like, for instance, let's say you were going to do a challenge.
Yeah.
I truly believe in this creator economy. I know you need to be put in front of more people.
Yeah.
I know that you're going to like really take care of people and give them value. I'd say, yo, let's do a challenge together. You are the highlight. We'll do a bunch of lives together. We'll do some YouTube lives together. You'll jump on the morning meetup. I'll be promoting you for that time period while we're doing the live. And while we're doing the challenge.
It's a very dynamic. You may even pitch someone who they could be like maybe an author, speaker, they already have, and you're like, hey, what if we also did this?
Correct.
And then, so there's a lot of ways it could come about, but only a couple times a year.
Yeah, only a couple. And I really have to like the person.
Yeah.
I just don't like doing, shouts out to Terica. Like, we literally, in her mastermind, there's hundreds of people in her mastermind now. She didn't want to do it. She got 500-600 units of real estate. So she's like, she understands that space, and she didn't do social media stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's been a beautiful partnership. I think like 60-70% of our mastermind actually has real estate. It's just phenomenal. So that was an amazing partnership, and we have a relationship. Like, that's my girl. You know what I mean? So,
are you ready to start or grow your YouTube channel? Do you feel stuck and need help connecting the dots? Join this free web class where you'll learn the step-by-step playbook for YouTube success. We've helped thousands of purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you grow their influence with video. Register today for this exclusive training at thinkmasterclass.com.
Number 5 is workshops.
yeah, for sure.
And I'm tomorrow at the time of recording, I'm about to train at the Podcasters Bootcamp.
Yes, sir.
How many workshops do you do a year?
I do maybe 4 or 5 a year.
Yeah.
Now that I have this space, I'll probably do one a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you could charge admission. It's just one off.
sure.
You got tickets for that.
100%.
And what are they?
I'll either charge admission. If it's like, for this one is very specific, I'll charge admission. Sometimes I'll charge admission, but the people in my morning meetup just get to come for free.
As a perk?
Yeah. It's just because.
Do you stream it too? Would you stream that?
Sometimes.
So, do you have local people in the morning meetup, or they can fly in?
It's local, but I'll go to different cities because I can see we got like about 1,000 people in it.
Yeah.
And I can see where a good concentration of people are. So, like in Florida, they do their own meetup from the meetup. Like they just get together in their community. So I flew down there a little while ago and just hung out with them for a day, coached, trained, flew right back, and I'll do that around the city.
What other topics on the boot camp? I mean, other boot camps. Is it always podcasting, or do you do other ones?
I did a content creation boot camp, which was more general. Like tomorrow is just more focused on podcasting. Me and my partner, my co-host Donnie, we did a brand clarity boot camp. So
Strong.
whatever I think that people can be serviced with, we do it.
Yeah. Okay, and then the final one, and there might be others, but these are big ones for you, is a podcast video studio, a brand new podcast video studio that you launched for yourself and your team, but also that you can rent out studios. We're recording in one of them right now.
Yes,
we're here in North Atlanta. So you got a physical space, almost 4,000 square feet. And I'm inspired by this because this speaks to taking revenue from what you've done before, taking the momentum, taking the vision, and then compounding that even into the next thing. So what's kind of like your vision in a nutshell? In the part 2 of this podcast, we're going to kind of unpack your story and talk about the Creators Clubhouse, the podcast studio. But what's like the nutshell vision of how this even came about?
Well, it's interesting. I'm just looking at the numbers, and I wanted my own studio. I wanted to have it like build out my studio. We have an event space where I was doing the studio. We had like breakdown and like setup and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I wanted a space where I can record my own, but also a plug and play podcasting studio. That was like the original vision, because I just see this podcasting thing coming, but people don't know how to do it, right? So if we have a space and I can like teach them how to record their own podcast, I don't got to worry about it. You rent the room, call it a day. But the model like evolves, because I literally didn't have a solid model when I bought the building. I just knew I needed a building. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to own a space, in terms of like your space, if you're going to be the best stylist in the world, right? You need to buy a salon.
Yep.
You need to have a decked out salon. If you're going to be, I don't know, a sneaker kind of store, you need to buy a sneaker store. So I just say, if I'm going to like own this space and I'm going to be the teacher of it, I want to have more social proof than anybody. A lot of people can start a podcast, but not everybody's going to be able to start a podcast and then teach a podcast and get people results. Some people can start a podcast and teach a podcast, but not everybody's going to have a podcasting studio where you can facilitate podcasts. So I'm just continuing to, I just got to keep separating myself from the other people in the industry.
It's beautiful. So David, thank you so much. You're on social at
Sleep is for Suckers with the number 4, Social Proof Podcast. Just go to your Apple or Spotify device and download Social Proof Podcast. It is an experience. We drop something every single day. We will feed you every single day on Social Proof Podcast. Social Proof YouTube channel. We're everywhere.
Yes. And definitely check out part 2 of this podcast. We're going to unpack the vision that's super inspiring about Creators Clubhouse, some of the details behind that, and how maybe you could envision doing something bigger in your city. Even if you're, starting small, we're thinking big in small places. We're dreaming big, and we're planning for the next season.
Can I give one more income revenue stream?
Oh yeah, bonus income revenue stream. Here we are. Let's go.
So we have a podcast mastermind that I don't know if I'll do it again, but I was teaching the podcasters that you need to learn podcasting and learn what camera to use and microphones and all that kind of stuff. Because one major revenue source is being a content creator for people who have businesses. So if I have a business, right now I probably have thought of a podcast. You know what I mean? Like everybody, they're thinking, oh, I need to start a podcast to do this. But people don't really know what type of camera to use, how you're going to shoot it, all that. But if you learn it, you can be a content creator for digital marketers. So you say, every single, once a week, we'll come together, shoot your podcast. We'll clip it up, edit it. Only because I know how to do it now, I can sell that as a service for you. Also, corporations are starting their own podcasts. So I have it's an organization out in LA who they're building out the podcast arm of their business. And because I understand podcasting, they contracted me to be the person to help them build it out. You know what I mean? So the skill set of learning what we all can see coming, everybody wants to start a podcast. If you learn how to do the thing, everybody wants to get started, you can facilitate it for them. Or somebody might not want a podcast, but you need to know how to set up a camera and mic for these digital marketers saying, let's go shoot your ads for this week. And they'll pay you for that stuff.
Yeah. So being either freelance or starting your own small business to serve business owners and corporations, especially with 5x growth just this year in the creator economy, with everybody wanting to get into this, you're investing in a wave that's not coming, it's already here. And it's definitely time to ride that wave.
It's like the people who learned computers before it was like popping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can code something. And you're like, what is code? Nobody knows what it means. Be the person who can facilitate that. Just you're early right now to the mark. I know everybody's a content creator and it seems saturated. We got a lot of years left in this thing. We're early.